Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video I'm going to show you how to perform a USB BIOS flash on this motherboard here. So this is the MSI MPG X870i Edge TI EVO Wi-Fi. That's somewhat of a mouthful. Hopefully I don't have to say that too many times. Anyway, we'll be showing you how to do a BIOS flash on this using the BIOS Flashback method. So if you've bought this motherboard and you've got a newer processor which isn't compatible with your motherboard and the system isn't booting up, or you've got some strange error LEDs on the board itself, then flashing the BIOS should hopefully fix it. Now, in order to do this, you will need the motherboard itself, something to place it on, ideally motherboard box, or you can do it in a fully built system. That is entirely up to you. Also, you will need a USB flash drive up to 32 gigabytes in size. If you want to use a larger one, you will have to create a smaller FAT32 file partition on the drive to be able to use it. And it doesn't always work particularly well, so ideally 32 gigabytes or less for your USB drive. Can be USB 2 or USB 3, and you'll need to format it, so make sure there's no data on there that you actually need to keep. You'll also need to power the motherboard. Now, in order to do that, we've got our power supply here, and there's only two connections you need to power the board with. That is the main 24-pin power connector, which goes into the socket over here, and then there is the 8-pin EPS connector, which is on the top of the motherboard. So that's all you need. Again, if you want to do it, you can do it in a completely built system. From my experience, especially when people are coming onto the Discord and saying, like, my system won't flash, it's generally something else which is causing the problem. So by stripping the board down to the bare essentials, that means that the flash has got the most chance of working. Now, of course, it can work with a fully built system. We've already mentioned that, but just wanted to kind of clarify that because it happens so often. And also, I should say as well, if your system is actually booting, then you can just do a BIOS flash from within the BIOS itself, which is much easier. We've done videos on that as well. But this is for getting one of these up and running if you do not have a compatible processor in the board, or you just want to have the latest BIOS. So anyway, with all that said, let's head over to the computer and take a look how this is done. Right, so let's start off. Let's actually get the BIOS downloaded. So head over to this website. This is the MSI website for this particular board. I'll put some links in the video description for you. And what you want to do is to click on the support tag. And actually, before you do that, I know it's going to be one of those boards where there isn't going to be very many that are exactly the same, but do make sure you have got the exact same model. If need be, do a quick visual to make sure that this is the board that you've actually got. So click on support, and then we want to go to this section here, which is BIOS, which generally it goes to first of all anyway. If we scroll down a little bit, you'll see there's multiple BIOS versions available, and if you're not too sure which is on there, because it's a relatively new board, you can probably just go straight away for the very latest one. If you're watching this in a few years from now and you don't have any idea what is on there, then really it's going to be a matter of seeing which ones are compatible. I would start with the first one. If for some reason that doesn't flash, then maybe go for one about 6 to 10 months older, or a year, 2 years, whatever it is, depending on how old the board is. Just try an older BIOS. Sometimes that can get you out of a fix, because you can't always go from the very oldest BIOS to the very latest one, because of there's certain little changes in between which happen. Anyway, we're going to go for the latest one. So we're actually in, well, the middle of May, towards the end of May 2026, and the latest version we've got here is from the 20th of March. So that's going to be absolutely fine. So we're going to download that one. Also, as well, I should mention as well, if you're downloading the BIOS and the BIOS date is like yesterday or the day before, then maybe go for the one prior to that, just in case, because if it's only been out a day or two, they may not have worked out if there's any bugs or things in it, and obviously the same applies if it's a beta version. Just, yeah, do bear that in mind. Beta versions sometimes are fine, but if they've only been out for a couple of days, then, yeah, potentially there may be issues which have not been yet discovered or disclosed. So, let's download this latest one, and it'll ask you where you want to save it. I'm just going to save it to the Windows desktop. You can save it wherever you like, but for me, the Windows desktop is easy. I can find it very simply, and it's easy to show. You save it wherever you want to. So we'll save the file. So there is the zip file done. So now we're done on the website. We can close this down. We don't need this at all. And what we can do is now right click and choose Extract All to unzip the file, because it is a compressed folder. So we'll click on Extract, and then we have the BIOS folder. And if we look inside of there, there will be the BIOS file. So there'll be a text document with various different things in there telling you what it's done, what's improved, etc. And what we're going to want to do is to use the BIOS file here, which you can see is 64 megabytes or 65,536 kilobytes. We actually need to rename the file. Now, if you're flashing this just from within inside the BIOS, you have a working system, don't rename it. It's absolutely fine. Leave it as it is. But if you're doing a USB BIOS flashback, the BIOS flashback mechanism is looking for a specific file name. It doesn't care what the file is, it just cares what the actual file name is. So we do need to change that. So click on the file and we will erase all of that. And what we're going to do is just going to call it something very simple, MSI.ROM, and then press enter. Now at this point we're going to get an error message come up saying this is going to make this file extension unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? Yes, we are, because this isn't necessary. It needs to be done. So click yes. And there we go. That is our file ready. So now what we need to do is to put it onto our USB drive. Now to correctly prepare your USB drive, we'll highlight the drive here. I've actually plugged it into the system already. As you can see, I've already got a BIOS file on there. This is the drive I always use for doing BIOS updates. It's very, very reliable. So we don't want any of that compromising or getting in the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we are going to choose format. I'm just going to make sure that the format is correct. So it needs to be FAT32. That's fine. That's what we've got set up there. The allocation size I would set to the default. And if there's anything in the volume label, I would strongly suggest removing it. Sometimes that can cause a problem. I don't know why, but sometimes it can do. So that is fine. So that is the settings you want. Click on start. And it's going to say here, this is kind of like your last warning. This is going to erase the disk in its entirety. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, we are. So we're going to click on OK. And there we go. The format is complete. So now we have a blank drive. That is fantastic. So if we go back into the folder we've got here, and we go back into our MSI.ROM, you can copy and paste or drag and drop, whatever you want to do. The choice is entirely up to you. So if you can see your USB drive, just take the file, left click, hold it and drag it down to your USB drive. And that should copy it to it. If we click on that now, there we go. The MSI.ROM is on there and it's the right size, etc. Of course, if you want to, you can do copy paste, whatever suits you. That's absolutely fine. So now we can eject the drive from the system. You can either do that safely or just pull it out. It doesn't really make a great deal of difference because there's no data being written to it. So we can do that and we can go over to a little test bench system and get this sucker flashed. Okay, so for the next part of this, we're going to flash the BIOS. So just kind of familiarize yourself with what needs to be plugged in where. Main 24-pin power connector, in this connector on this edge here, the 8-pin EPS, this one here at the top. And for actually flashing the BIOS, we need to work out what we need to actually press. So looking at the IO shield on the back, on this one, you've got two buttons on the back there next to each other, one of which is the CMOS clear, and the other one is the BIOS flashback. Now, if you put your finger over them, you'll notice that the CMOS reset is slightly more raised. So if you're doing this in a slightly awkward environment, then you can just press the one below it. Just press it in, hold it. That's what you need to do. And if you're not sure which one of the actual USB ports you need to use, and yes, you do need to use a specific one for USB BIOS flashback. If you're doing it from within the BIOS, just flashing normally, you can use any USB port. But if you're doing a USB BIOS flashback, you do have to use a specific port on the motherboard. And on this specific one, on the IO shield, it is printed on there saying flash BIOS. And for those of you that can't really read it, 'cause it's tiny, then just look where your Ethernet connection is, and it's the USB type A directly below that. So we might as well stick that in now. So there we go. There is the USB drive installed into the motherboard. So now all we need to do is to hook up some power. So we've got our little power supply here. Make sure the power supply is in the off position when you're plugging things in. You don't want anything bad to happen. So we're going to plug in the 24-pin main power connector. Make sure it clicks nicely into place. And the EPS one, which is this top corner here. So we'll plug that in as well. You can get away with just doing 4 pins on this. You don't have to do all 8, but if you've got a molded connector and it shows all 8, then heck, you might as well do it. So we are pretty much ready, I think. So now what we can do, turn on the power supply. So now the motherboard is getting power. And now we're ready to press the USB BIOS flashback button. Now again, it is a little bit of recess, so it might be difficult. But what you want to do is just press it in, hold it for a couple of seconds. When you do this, you potentially will see the diagnostic lights come up on the motherboard on the back side near the RAM slots. Potentially also you'll see your power supply fan power up and start spinning. It may stop straight after that depending on your power supply. Some power supplies have a 0 fan mode, so you can't always tell that it's on, but it will click so you know it's actually on. And yeah, that is pretty much it. The BIOS flash LED, I'm not too sure where it actually is on this board, so we're both going to find out at the same time here. So let's press and hold the button for a couple of seconds, and we've heard the power supply kick in, and that is now spinning, and the LEDs on the board lit up very briefly, and now it's turned back off. And is there a flashing LED? There is an LED which I can see just there. So I'm not sure how obvious that is going to be for you. It is somewhat hidden. You can just about see it in the USB ports there. If I turn the lights off, hopefully you'll be able to see that a little bit better. And there we go. I've just focused it in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. With the lights off, you can actually see it just flashing from the side there. Again, not having things connected makes sense because potentially you may have had USB drives or devices, keyboard, mouse plugged in, and you'd never have seen that in a million years. So that's fine. In terms of our diagnostic LED, whilst it's in the flashing process, you'll see the yellow and also the red lights are on. Hopefully you can just about see that. The top of the shot there, this looks like amber lights, but it is a red and a yellow. So just let it do its thing. It should take somewhere in the region of about 4 to 5 minutes to completely flash. These new BIOSes, they are 64 meg BIOSes, so they take a little bit longer than the previous 32 meg ones do, but we are using a USB 3 port, so potentially the transfer speeds may be slightly quicker. Not entirely sure, but just give it about 5 minutes, take a visual notification of the time currently, and yeah, if it goes on longer than 5 minutes, just keeps on flashing constantly and doesn't really do anything, then either the file's wrong or it's not recognizing the drive, in which case you can try another one. But like I said, I was going to leave that, let it do its thing, and we'll come back when it's done. And there we go, it's just clicked off, and then it's going to try and restart. Obviously there is no CPU and there is no RAM installed, so you're just going to still have the error lights, which if I just spin that around, you can see we've got the 2 error lights, for the red one and the orange one, but that is essentially it. So that has worked. It's flashed the BIOS. It did take a little bit longer than I thought, so 7 or 8 minutes. So turn off the power supply, and you'll hear it all click off and the lights will go out. Then you can remove your USB flash drive and then you can continue building your system. So there you go, there is the motherboard flashed. It's all done and dusted. So like I said, now if you wanted to, you can just carry on building up the rest of your system, install your CPU, your RAM, etc. Put it in the case, do all that kind of stuff. Obviously, if your PC is fully built, now is the time you can reboot it. And potentially when it did the first reboot, it should just booted back into the BIOS, or potentially even loaded Windows if you had Windows on the drive already. But anyway, that is for another day. So hopefully this video's been helpful to you. If it has, please smash the like button. Also, if you want to help the channel, please share these videos. It does very much help the stuff we do here. And yeah, if you want to join us on Discord, if there's any problems or anything that you're having, your flash isn't working for some reason, please do get in touch in the comment section or on the Discord, and we'll help you as best we can. But I think that's going to wrap this one up. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing, Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.